It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me. Jay Black, 6.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, yeah. Tight shirts, what? Tight shirts, yeah. Tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the streets.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top. And now all I wear is tight shirts, yeah. Tight shirts, what? Tight shirts, yeah. Tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. Hey, we're super late. Sorry. The upload didn't upload. Upload said 14 hours. I said, damn. I should have done this last night. Then he said 9 hours. I said, damn, should have done this last night. Got down to 4 hours. I said, damn, I got to text Jay Black.
That's like back with Napster. You had to download overnight.
I said, Mayday.
That might sound crispy. Okay, good. We back.
All right. Let's get to it. Jay Black, how was your night? Quickly, how was your night?
Good.
Good. We're one day away from Juneteenth. Dr. Smith, how was your night? Dr. Smith is on here. He was up early. He was ready to go the whole show. He was like, yeah.
Juneteenth Eve. I'm ready.
Juneteenth Eve. So put some respect on it. Exactly.
Dr. Smith said, hey, I'm here from 7 to 9. Where y'all at? No show today? Hit me with the text. No show today?
I just want to make sure, too. I didn't want to, sometimes you fall back. And they be like, where was you at?
He said, this is how y'all get down. Good morning, everybody. This is how y'all get down. I'm normally here like 7:10. So I pause. So our videos and everything are very limited. The only thing that came through was Monty's Here's the Thing. And I've watched, and I had problems putting that up. I've watched it so much, I got an opinion already.
Shelly.
I'm about to do Here's the Thing. I'm about to do my segment. Here's the Thing. But she got two interesting ones. My night was fine. Everything was all good. I got the flight today. Trendsetter, what up? I'll be in Dallas today. So I got to head out there. I'm the type that gets to the airport like 3 hours ahead of time.
No, you don't. You?
Yeah, my flight's at 1:24. I'm getting there at 11.
When were you going to do it? I had all that idle time just sitting around.
That's why my headphones are charged up. Just chill.
Gotta keep the headphones.
Grab me a motherfucking whatever coffee or something like that and chill and
the best of Hove. Okay.
I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good. I'm good.
Do you have premium for your YouTube?
Sean?
No, I don't. So I want to know.
That's the hack,
Yeah, the premium.
Because before you get on the flight, you got to pay per month. But when you got premium, you could download a bunch of videos and then watch them offline. So you could download 20 videos, get on the plane, and be like, you got internet.
Well, I download movies.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you got a bunch of stuff to watch, once you go airplane mode, then it's much better.
You need that. Yeah.
It's LaShawn's actual birthday, and she switched that thirst trap up. Let's go, mama. All right.
Wait, what she got on?
Thirst trappy
It's tight to her body today. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah, baby, you get that thirsty trappy popping. You get that thirsty trappy popping. Happy
all
birthday.
Her little friends. Who get her time today?
Your little friends.
Yeah, she got all
too much on your birthday.
Somebody got to get more time than the other one. Like somebody.
Who's you hanging out with? Who's the premium? Who's the premium? Who's the premium plan?
Who got the premium package?
Who
got the brunch guy? I don't want the guy that's getting brunch. I don't want him. Like who's the premium?
Premium package?
Who's the one who gets the whole day and the night? Who's that person?
Prime delivery.
Who is that Amazon delivery going to? Right, like in 10 minutes. Sometimes Amazon gets you faster than the damn DoorDash.
Early, faster than a day.
I'm like, damn, how did Amazon beat Uber Eats? I'm like, what? I got my chicken parm in a sweatsuit. How did this
Domino's time? 30 minutes.
Coco, what up, Coco? What's good with you, Coco?
Yeah, he said.
I was leaving you alone, Coco, but that I'm telling you, that to me is so funny. The stress relief, putting Coco's picture up there, the stress relief for Coco. That to me, what? Man, look, Coco. Dr. Smith, you saw it. I think you saw it. Wait a second.
I saw the picture, but what the stress relief? I didn't know.
No, that's to break up the tension. Like when we arguing, he tells us to shush like this. He just tells us. He tells everybody shush.
Oh yes, yo, no, I remember that. The R&B, the song. Have you ever shushed someone?
Hush, new album coming out. Hush.
Yeah, everybody calm down. Wait, before he arrests somebody, he tell him to shush. He don't even say freeze. He say shush.
Did he have 2 fingers up though?
Yeah, he had 2 fingers. He said shush.
Who shushes with a peace sign? Who shushes?
I think he was doing it. I think he was trying to do the Sammy Sosa where he kisses the peace sign, sends it out. I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to do.
There'll always be 1 finger, no matter this, unless you're doing it.
Thanks to TP.
And I don't think you actually touch your face typically. I think you.
He touched them lips. Pause.
At least to mush your own lips into it.
Good morning, Cam.
Cam, what up, bud? Good morning. Happy birthday, LaShawn. Real talk, LaShawn.
Yes.
So look, you're getting love. And Nikki came out there strapping too. She got her thirsty, little thirsty trapping. I see you, Nick. Look at Nick, like somebody gonna end this drought, goddamn. Somebody gonna end this job.
Not if it comes with drama. Ain't nobody.
Oh man.
Shush with all that.
Not if it comes with drama.
Yeah, Nikki comes with drama. Everybody ain't. You just can't be
drought plus drama.
You know how that is. You got something that's just.
Oh yeah, you know I know.
It ain't worth it.
Hey.
It just ain't worth it.
Like, why don't you call me back?
Hey, that's
all money ain't good money. Sometimes with Nikki, you gotta be like, yo, I don't know.
But see, that's what changes. That's the thing that changes in your 20s. See, it's not that I feel like my body's aching. It's my mind is open. In my 20s, I take the drama.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Sometimes you wanted the drama. Sometimes you said she looked a little crazy.
What?
That meant, you know.
I like him a little feisty. I
like a little feisty.
Fendi bag and a bad attitude. You know?
54. I be weighing out the options as you get undressed. I'm like, no, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
I'll leave after. I won't stay.
Yeah, I'll leave right after. I'll be flying out tomorrow. I'm not sleeping here.
But you still do it. If you can't sleep there, that should be a sign.
But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I won't. I'm like, nah. I wouldn't even take it that far. I'm like, nah. I felt a little in our discussion. We were having a talk. Yeah. When I felt you got a little edgy,
Tupac.
It don't even matter. We could be talking about like the Kendrick Drake battle. We could be talking about that, and I hear a little too much edginess come in. Like,
yeah.
Shit, if I was Drake, what I would have done, I would have shot him up in Canada. Whoa,
a little too husky, little gruff come out. Nah,
I would have called my people. He would have made it over the border. Oh, whoa.
Playing in his face.
Did I tell you I live with my mom and dad? All of a sudden, I start driving all of it.
I gotta go.
He said, I'm feeling in life. Mike, what time is your flight? My flight lands at 4 Dallas time, 4:20 something.
Oh, he coming to pick you up from the airport?
I don't know. I mean, listen, man, they're gonna reimburse me the Uber, but if you want to stop by, man, I got no problem
You
with
just
that.
make up an Uber charge. Just
I'm not gonna do that to Leah Frazier. Why you always trying to hustle? Always trying to be a
Jay let that little 15-20 go. He said, hey, hold on. Print out the receipt. Make up a receipt.
Man, I landed 3:55 Dallas Fort Worth at the DFW airport.
It is. Wait, a budget though that somebody's paying her. And it coming out of her pocket. It's part
why would I make believe? Just she already looking me out like
just tell her that you did the mileage for somebody for the gas and man, I'm getting all mine.
That's ridiculous. He already changed my whole financial life for 2 months. She already laced me up. She already looked out for 2 months. 2 months, my whole financial thing is different. If I wanted to, I could just call out of work and not go to work next week. But I ain't going to work. but I'm not because I want to pile on.
Gotta keep it going.
All right, so stupid dummy of the week. Listen, Stephen A. Smith is I got 2 stupid dummies. I had a bunch of stuff, but they didn't come up. So I got 2 political stuff. But Stephen A. Smith has jumped into the political forum. This is how bad politics are. Even though Stephen A. Smith makes a lot of money in sports, we know he's a buffoon. We know he's just a character. We know he's just WWE.
He plays a role. Mm-hmm.
But now he's jumped into political forum. And now he copied the check off of that. Being a bigger buffoon. Being even more embarrassing. So the senator that got tackled in the when he wanted to ask some questions, Panada, was it Espinada? Senator Panada?
He walked up on the lady at the press conference. Yeah,
and he wanted to ask a question. He got arrested. He was released, but he got arrested, caused a stir, and everybody saw that the regime is at it. Well, Stephen A. Smith decided, hey, I'm going to put my 2 cents in this. I'm going to do a hot take on politics. That's all he wants to do. There's anything you do in sports is a hot take. For those who don't know, a hot take is some outrageous statement that you say so you can go viral. 50-year-olds have hot takes.
Alex Padilla, that's his name, Padilla.
Alex Padilla.
Padilla. Padilla.
Well, he had
California.
A hot take. He had a little hot take on what went on. And I guess he just thought he was doing his sports show, but this was his podcast. So, which one is it? Do I have it? I may not even have it. I set that whole thing up. I thought I had it.
Kill it, but don't push me.
Nope, don't have it. Cruz.
You did all that. You did
all that. I just looked at it. Mother can abort. Don't you hate that?
Maybe I can find it.
I'll find it. I'll be right back. I'll get it.
I guess he just left. That's what Mike did.
No, some people were trying to think if he wanted to run for something, Stephen A. They're trying to see what the motive was. Like Mike said, when you already got money and you jumping out there, you got a book coming out, you got opportunity you're trying to manifest. Usually something behind it when you already got, millions and millions of dollars. So
politics is different than talking sports, though, obviously.
Yeah, most people learn that too late. Like the former athletes, they jump in like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
like Michael Jordan playing baseball, they think it's gonna be the same deal.
Craig? Yeah, I think he got the clip, but still, politics is way different animal. You got to answer, then they start pulling up everything from your past.
That part too. Nobody should be seeking a bigger spotlight in 2025 if you already got money. If you already got money, you should be chilling and looking to go, underground or lay low.
You should be Russell Simmons. You should go to an island.
And if you already got a big spotlight and you got some money and you got a pass, you should leave. You got to pass some money in a spot. You in the spotlight, you should leave.
That's what it is. I did have it. It's just not gonna play, y'all. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna try, but it's not gonna play.
So he's already worth about 70 million. Nope. Stephen.
Nope. Yeah.
If I had 70 million, I would not be trying to jump on a bunch of talk shows.
No, but he's addicted. He's addicted.
And they said he might be running for something. They said he might have some plans. Either people got a book coming out or they got a opportunity.
Yeah, he's one of them dudes. He's addicted. He always wanted to be the athlete that comes into the arena and they follow him with the camera when they see what he has on, and he finally made that. And he's the ultimate in narcissism. Like
he couldn't play, so he figured out another way.
Yeah, he figured out another way, and now he wants to do the hot take. So we'll stay on the political forum. This might be the scariest clip I've ever seen when it comes to World War. This is Senator Cruz talking to Tucker Carlson. Joanne Reed actually posted this, so I'm pretty certain this is factual. But this was the craziest question. Now, as you know, Israel attacked Iran. Iran has retaliated. The dome, the defense dome, the famed dome ain't working.
Iron Dome, yep.
The Iron Dome ain't working. And they had other videos.
It worked a little bit.
It worked a little bit.
A little bit. It was. You got a couple of them.
So Tucker Carlson, who I'm not a huge fan of, but Tucker Carlson had Senator Cruz on there asking him a few questions. Now these shouldn't be difficult. I mean, this is major. This could be World War III. This is something that the details should be. Senator Cruz should know the details. He should. Well, Tucker Carlson had a little interview, started asking him a few questions, and you'll be frightened by him.
I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people living around?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
Israel. High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Yeah, boys and girls. Boys and girls. We are in a war. We are in a war. We are absolutely in a war. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce to you. I mean, we should have known that already. We should have known. We should have known. I don't listen. I have no concept of why we are so indebted to Israel. I don't know. I don't know all the various reasons. I don't know why politicians were questioned by a reporter. Who do you defend more? Are you working for the American citizens or are you working for Israel? None of them answered. They all walked off.
Wow.
They all walked off.
No
they wouldn't
comment.
answer the question. One politician had the nerve to say, it's like asking, do I love my wife more than my daughter? No, it's not. No, it's not.
It shouldn't be.
But we're in a war. They don't know. This man, Senator Cruz, doesn't know the population. A round number. Just a round
how many people?
number.
How many people you about to try to kill? How many people you gonna be attacking? How many people you dropping bombs on? You should know that.
Just give us around close. We're not asking for like to the closest hundredth. Like we're not saying 90 million, 200,000. We just want a roundabout. Give us a 90 million between 85 and 90.
No. I know there's some people listening who are taken up for Cruz, right? And they're probably like, well, and even Cruz said to Tucker, try to pose the question back, expecting him not to know the answer. This is what people don't understand. Like the average person watching the broadcast might not have been in the situation where they're asked to come on a show and talk about a topic. So no, normally if I say myself, if I'm walking down the street and I saw Michael Sean and he said, yo, how you been, Fearless? What's the population and the
right.
Now, I might not get it right. I might need a minute. But if Michael Sean called me a day or two prior and said, I'd like for you to come on my show and talk about what's been happening between Iran and Israel, and I came on the show knowing what I was going to talk about and then didn't know it, it'd be that much more egregious and unbelievable that I couldn't answer the question correctly. Because I know some people are like, well, I don't know that either. But you weren't asked to come on the show 24 hours ago knowing you were going to be asked to talk about that topic specifically. That's what people need to understand. It's even worse than you think it is. I know some people think, oh, he should know that or he should know that. No. He was told beforehand. I've had topics I didn't even know about. They said, will you be able to talk about it? I said, when's the show? They'll say Tuesday. I say, oh, it's Friday. I'll be an expert by Tuesday. Give me 4 hours in Wikipedia. I got this. I could talk for 2 minutes. So for him to already be a senator, to know he's going to talk about that, for the whole world to be risking World War III, and for him not to know the basic facts. If you don't know that, what do you know? Because these are, that's the surface level. Who's there? How many people? Where is it on a map? And a lot of times they said the same thing about the map. A lot of people can't identify where these places are on a map, but they want to destroy them.
And the scary thing, the stupidity is that's why Tucker Carlson leaned back. He said, that's breaking news.
Yeah, because they give different messages. They give them different messages. Potentially lethal.
I want you to see how fast a child, this is This is what's that emotional? What's that, Jay?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence and emotional control. This is a senator who literally blurted out, "We are bombing Iran."
Taking credit. It's like the drill rappers. It's just like those rappers we talk about when they're like, why would you get on camera taking credit for murder and being like, we did that, we spun the block, we did the get back. If you did do it, I don't care if you sent in special operations that were on the ground, whatever you did, why would you get on camera discussing war plans before, during, or after? What's the point? What are you, clout chasing?
I want you to see how fast it happened.
Population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're supposed to be an expert. You're supposed to be versed in this.
Yeah, how'd you get the job?
How do you have the job?
Yeah. Oh, what was the interview like? What questions were asked in the interview to make sure that you were the right person to prevent us from being in World War III?
Not only that, so you're telling me these discussions don't happen during your job, like in your actual job. These discussions don't come up.
A regular day at work, right?
People don't want to know the population that we're trying to attack in a country, or we're helping someone attack a country that has 90 million people.
He said, my team got that. They know all that.
Yeah.
What? But I want to see.
I got Google. I got ChatGPT.
I want y'all to look closely on how easy it is to make him admit something that he was not supposed to admit.
You're the one who claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
we're carrying out military strikes today.
You say
that's all it took.
Getting ruffled.
That's all it took to go back to one of their talking head talking points. They're trying to kill Donald Trump. They're trying to kill Donald. That's what they get for everybody with a third grade education who voted for him. Once they say that, that's supposed to be the hammer. They're trying to kill Donald Trump. They're trying to kill Donald.
You want to hear something interesting? Based on the response to his parade and party versus the population that showed up for No King's Day, that's not a good selling point to elicit sympathy. I'm trying to say politely, we don't care.
No, you know what's and I agree with that. You know what's even crazier? You say we don't care about them. We tried. If I go
in Butler, Pennsylvania,
If we believe your Hollywood bad Tubi movie, if we believe your Tubi movie,
WWE little blood pack type energy.
So this is all, once again, it took for you to admit, and then you tried to backtrack.
Trump?
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
we're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, there's breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
You just said.
We are supporting
this is
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay. Got him.
Dog.
And Trump did the same thing, you know. When it first happened,
of course.
Rubio was like, "Not us. I don't know who did that, man." You know. Then Trump came back in the middle of the night talking about something. Yeah, we met with them But this is the other issue that people were speculating. Trump was supposed to meet with them that Thursday. The word is that a lot of these experts and officials who lost their lives were gathered in that concentrated area that they knew about based on the fact that they were planning to meet with the president. So now people are like, wait, Trump is backdooring people like a chick from Chicago saying, yo, meet me downtown. I'll be there Thursday. They know where they're at. And that's why they're saying we eliminated these critical assets in terms of the top nuclear guy, the top math guy, the top military guy, because they were all in the same place because they were trying to, get ready for their meeting with President Trump. So this is crazy. Because, like you said, this whole thing about wanting to get rid of somebody, a lot of people are gonna look around and be like, "Oh, that's who did it. I thought that you were innocent. I thought you were about to meet with us to try to negotiate, and these boys just came and started acting crazy." But now, like episode of Power, I'm learning that y'all was working together, and the whole meeting was a setup to get me here so that the other people could do what they did.
Nikki said Tucker has nice hair. Thank you, Nikki. Well, that's from Tucker. Tucker said thank you. Cruz didn't know how many people are in Texas. People, this is
that's his thing.
Do you understand? I don't know about y'all because I don't follow politics, and I have no way. When I'm not watching CNN, MSNBC, Fox, or whatever, I don't have websites that I go to. I don't have these websites that y'all get the update. So I don't know. Maybe you did know. But I'm telling you, for the casual person, one day I heard Israel bombed Iran. I don't know it. It went from the Gaza situation to all of a sudden they bombed Iran. I was like, well, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And just to, Jay likes to call me conspiracy theories. All these rules on protesting, now I'm feeling that the deportation, even though we know ICE is making money and there's financial, there's people making millions and millions.
They put them to work already,
Yeah, they're making millions but I started thinking, I said, they're getting really like harsh with the, if you protest, we will do this. If you protest, we will do that. And they're making all these stipulations. I'm like, was this just the prelim to knowing that if it comes out that we are at war with Iran, the same Iran that you said Obama wasn't going to get it. You said Obama was going to get us into
and
this.
Biden.
Biden.
He said Biden's going to try to stay in office by forcing us into a war in Iran. That's all he got left, and that's what he's going to try to do. And then he did it.
And maybe all these rules for protesting was because there's one thing that crosses that. There's a few things that cross color lines, and one of them is when people's kids who are in the military start getting sent over to fight a war. That's when parents all of a sudden seem to decide, nah, that unjust war. Listen, my mom is the nicest person in the history of my life. She is a person that will do anything for you. The only protest she ever took part in twice was against the Vietnam War because my dad was in the war.
Yeah, people don't play about their family.
This is why you want so much control and you're trying to lay the groundwork to destroy protesting, because this could light the country on fire if people who are sitting around are going, wait, my son and daughter's over there. Why are we in this? You told us we weren't going to start a war. You told us we weren't going to be in a war.
You told us it was about eggs. What are you talking about?
You told us about eggs.
Yeah, I'm bringing the price down. He said, I'm bringing the price down. Groceries. Nobody said it. Groceries. The word nobody was using. That's like, we say that every day, bro. You don't buy your own food. That's why you talking like that. But that is crazy. Somebody said that too. These people have drivers that take them to work every day. These people have not been in a supermarket sometimes in 30 years. People have been delivering their food even before DoorDash was a thing. The level of and they avoided war. Bone spurs for Trump and everything else. Barron Trump is not going to war. They have doomsday planes, right? If something goes wrong, they got the doomsday plane and they got the bunkers. So when you're talking crazy, but you're not going to do the fighting, it looks different when you know that they got somewhere else to be. If I talk tough and start a fight, but I'm going to fight, it sounds different than if when the fight starts, I'm leaving. So I think that you're right. When people see their kids get sent off, it changes everything.
It changes everything when I see a woman at my job who said her son she said, wow, he came home. He just got out the military 6 months ago before all this crazy. And she was like, I'm so, like, her eyes were watering up. This white lady's eyes were watering up. I can't believe we got so lucky. God is so good. Here's a white lady saying that. Just imagine if her son was still there. This is where protesting becomes something different. This is where maybe the 10 million finally go to the Capitol and said he has to go. I don't know. I don't know.
So what do you say to the people that's looking at all this and saying, you know what, this ain't affecting me over here in North Philly or South Texas, or like none of this makes sense. All this bound, whatever. We're going to be
now.
Over here.
I would say to them for now. Well, look, let me do this. I'm gonna give y'all a hip hop professor moment, because one of the most important songs of the moment that nobody has mentioned yet. I watched all these different clips, but they're not hip hop fans. Y'all might be familiar with it. It's Rakim, Casualties of War, right? In 1992, and I was looking at the lyrics, and he talks about being a confused young man, just like dead President Lorenz Tate, who it wasn't really politically savvy, and now he's thrust into not just the situation, he's thrust on the front line. That's the thing. You go from smoking a blunt on the corner, not talking about politics and war ever, to being the primary cannon fodder for the conflict. So in the joint, he says, casualties of war, I approach the barricade. Where's the enemy? Who do I invade? Just to show his ignorance. Bullets of Teflon, bulletproof vest rip, tear you out the frame with a bag full of clips. Because I got a family that waits for my return, like we just said. To get back home is my main concern. I got to get back to New York in one piece, but I'm bent in the sands as hot as the city streets, right? Let me skip to the end. Because this talks about the whole Trump thing, how we both feel about Trump on their side and our side. Go to the army, be all you could be. Another dead soldier. Hell no, not me. So I'm letting off ammunition in every direction. Allah is my only protection. But wait a minute. Saddam Hussein prays the same. And this is Asia from where I came. I'm on the wrong side. Change the target. Shooting at the general. And where's the sergeant? Blaming on John Hawley Hawkins for bringing me to America, first slave ships. Now it's mass hysteria. And I get a rush when I see blood, dead bodies on the floor. Casualties of war. It's a crazy story. It wasn't a pop hit because it didn't get the message America liked and doesn't get promoted when people do 50 years of hip hop. But this song, especially in a moment like this, yeah, you got people that would slide in YNs. They got nothing to do with the conflict. But the second the draft kicks back in or they get sent overseas, then, I don't know, where am I? Who do I shoot at, right? Then you start to learn about the conflict. You're like, wait a minute, I got more in common with these people, where Muhammad Ali with the Viet Cong, than I do with the people who sent me here to enslave me. So that's always the fear, to keep people ignorant, but also keep them useful, and expendable.
And Craig made a point, and this, I wasn't bringing this up to her. And Craig, who was in the military, said he's not out the woods. They can call him back. And I just want to tell y'all, Jay makes, and I know a lot of people, and Jay makes a good point. He says, what do you tell the person in North Philly that ain't got, this doesn't affect? I hate to sound corny, y'all. Every human being is connected.
Yeah.
Every action will wind up affecting you. Everyone. I'm gonna give you one. At the what's the when the comedian speaks for the politicians, what's the when all the networks get together, all the correspondents, the
correspondence dinner. That's what it's called.
The correspondence dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Obama gave Trump 20 minutes of fire at the correspondence dinner.
Yeah, that was classic.
20 minutes of fire.
Some people say that's when he decided to be president. That was the origin
that's
story.
What I'm trying to tell you.
That was the villain origin
that
story.
Was the minute Trump said, I'm going to, because he embarrassed. And listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, who knew that dinner that had nothing to do with us?
Yeah. Now it affects all of us.
That had nothing to do with us.
It was going to change the world. That monologue changed the world.
Change everything.
He was red too. That's the first time I saw him orange before, but that night he was red. I remember that. He looked red for the first time. He was embarrassed. It was like watching the Joker when the Joker was getting ridiculed, but you knew something was coming later. It's like, you ain't gonna keep playing with him. Like, eventually he gonna start enjoying it and flipping on y'all.
Asha said, I had the TV last week, and in the middle of the show, breaking news, as soon as they said Israel had gone after Iran, this is what I said. This is not good. We're in a war and idiots in charge. And
they've been striking back, because a lot of people in America don't, they don't see the other side, because, Israel has such an influence over the media. But they said they struck Mossad headquarters. They said there's between 20 something and 30 people dead, still 10 times less than the dead in Iran. It's like 200, but they're not showing the fact that, like you said, Iron Dome ain't foolproof. But just for our listeners, the fun facts is 83,024,745. I looked on Kids National Geographic, and in Fast Facts for Kids National Geographic, one of the first things it says is the population, 83,024,745. So now we know more than Ted Cruz.
We know more than Ted Cruz. Quickly.
Trump 2028. You funny.
No segues.
We put every comment up, though. We put it.
Yeah, sure.
We'll put every comment. Go. They're going to send you to war, too. I hope you're doing your push-ups. I'm 54. They're not asking for me.
We out the game.
Yeah, we
AR peeps.
So say, hey, James, welcome to the show. See, they embrace you too.
How you doing, James? Everybody say hi to James.
They ain't getting us distracted.
I just got a text message. They're talking about me on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, for those who don't know, Jonesy was on the Breakfast Club yesterday getting interviewed. Yeah, so they
Oh, that's dope.
I guess
they talking about you, or did Jonesy say they're talking about her?
No, Jonesy was on there, but I came up. The famous MC Hammer story came up where I almost got beat up by MC Hammer.
No, that's what's up though. Yeah, right. All press is good press. Yeah.
Yeah.
When, get that clip, Jake. Get that clip. You know what I'm saying? We got another commercial.
One day I'll give the best
flex night.
I'll give the best version of the MC Hammer story one day on IG. I'll just record and do the best on TikTok and give you the best.
That might be how you start the Patreon or something. You know, that'd be the subscription. That'd be the subscription episode. We talked to MC Hammer about the MC Hammer incident.
Yeah.
Subscribers. Yeah, you get subscribers that day.
Hey, who knew MC Hammer was about that life? You didn't know either back then.
No, I didn't know, but people in the industry seem to know because he's running down on everybody. Even Redman, everybody said, "Yo, he ran up on us."
We didn't have TikTok and Instagram. We didn't have all social media to find out what life was. I just thought he prayed a lot. I didn't know anything. I thought he had bad spending habits,
and we thought it was corny.
Yeah.
And he actually had military experience. So here we got a guy who knows how to probably shoot bazookas and M16s and everything else. A real killing machine. But we look at his pants and we're like, man, get out of here with that.
And I apologize for always dissing MC Hammer. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
He was partying. He was true to himself and where he was from. He always represented Oakland. He wasn't like the brat where people didn't know where she was from initially, right? Yeah. With the whole Chicago, Atlanta. It wasn't like Corrupt, who's from Philadelphia. That people say, I didn't know you was from LA. It was none of that. No offense to them artists, but when Hammer came out, they said you ain't hitting in New York, Hammer. What you gonna do about it? I'm gonna turn this mother out. He said, I'm gonna turn New York out. Back when that was not the thing to do, to talk about. You supposed to act like you from New York. If you're from New Jersey and all other places back in the day, you did yourself a favor by at least letting them think, like Dave Chappelle said about the projects, let them think you from New York.
I thought I was telling some jokes. He said, who wrote them jokes? Who was the writer of them jokes? When he came to the studio, who was the writer of them jokes? Who was it? And DJ Envy looked at it and pointed. He is. I said, well, what the?
Where they do that? What in the snitch? Wait, who did? I ain't putting no elbow. We caught Mike. We caught. You could have said no. Yeah, I don't know. Right? They got emailed to us. You could have said
it was some funny shit.
I'll look into it. I'll find out for you.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
Yeah. He went to go get breakfast. The war is over for now. At least just because they lost, it doesn't mean it's peace. A long way home. It's a lot to think about. Whole generation left in doubt. I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess that was lyrics. Oh, MC Hammer's not a joke. Yeah, but you know that now. Didn't nobody know that when I was at Hot 97?
Yeah, he's quoting Rakim. But yeah.
I was like, I like, no disrespect, but I was like, damn, if MC Hammer beat me up, who's next? Try call Quest.
Vanilla Ice.
I call Quest. Who's next? I'm gonna get beat up by Fife. Rest in peace.
Can I kick him? Yes.
Yeah. Can I? What?
The war hasn't started yet.
But think about it, Mike. When we were growing up in the 90s, we were equally as deceived. For example, we thought Little Kim was the biggest freak, even though she was standing next to Diddy. We thought Suge was the most violent villain, even though he was standing next to Diddy. Like Diddy was the one. We said Suge.
We're not gonna slander Diddy. Diddy ain't guilty of nothing yet.
I'm just saying we had it wrong. I can at least say that. I think we was little misguided about who was who when it came to who was the freakiest and who was the most dangerous. Because he was at least in the running. Diddy should have been in the conversation.
And this is why Jay get mad at me, because I won't be misled anymore. I was misled to pick a side in the East Coast, West Coast beef for no fucking reason that it was aimed to destroy. And they got, and in Kim Porter's book, allegedly, in Kim Porter's book says she sat next to Diddy. When Diddy said, oh, after Tupac got shot, oh, yeah, he's still alive. There's going to be blood in the streets. We're going to make money off of this. We got to release who shot you.
Wow.
We got to release it. And then allegedly in the book, she says, who cares about LL Cool J? I didn't even know there was a beef with LL Cool J, with Biggie and LL Cool J. I vaguely remember some words getting exchanged. Who cares about LL Cool J? Shoot, Tupac survived. This is going to make us money. We got to release who shot you.
My gosh. Well, I always get in trouble.
Eddie, what up, Steady Eddie?
I've been critical, though. I've been very critical over the years about New York acting like Biggie was, innocent in the whole back and forth.
Biggie may have been innocent,
but I remember the freestyle he released and all that. Yeah. Like there were things that was said on multiple songs, not just Long Kiss Goodbye and all that. We're not talking about no other rappers. But after Biggie died, everybody was like, Biggie just didn't want no beef and never said nothing, and Tupac just kept going. And it's like people really was having it twisted up in a way where
we were deceived. We were deceived by everybody. We were lied to by everybody. That's why when people want to turn the Diddy thing into, but they don't do this to the white man. You're right. They should have done this to Hugh Hefner. You're right. Abercrombie. You're right. We should be talking about them. You're right. But I am not caping for him. If you want to have a topic on people and how the system is against us, yes. But I'm not caping for him.
You leave him out of it. Just talk about the corruption.
Whatever happens to him is him. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all can say I'm cruel. Y'all can say whatever. I know R. Kelly's a victim. I know R. Kelly, what happened between his mom and his sister and how his sexual exploitation and how he was done dirty. But guess what? My daughter didn't get peed on.
Yeah, that don't matter after that.
So if he overdosed in jail, I don't know what to tell y'all.
Well, he can get help while he's locked up. We could do both. He could be locked up and get some treatment. He don't gotta be out like you said. He ain't gotta be at risk to my children though.
Like I'm not like we get lied to all the time and get caught up in these and it never stops. I see people on TikTok talking about Drake should have done something to Kendrick. Do what? What did you want him to do to Kendrick?
He came to his city and did all these shows and this is some.
What's Drake gonna do? Drake. But like I said before, Mike, back in the day when the counterintelligence program led by J. Edgar Hoover pitted the US organization led by Maulana Karanga, founder of Kwanzaa, with Huey P. Newton and Black Panthers, they called it an East Coast West Coast rivalry. When they got the people killed, up there at Berkeley at the college, the people who are fomenting all that dissent and all that contention, the white people who are working for J. Edgar Hoover at the FBI, they labeled it East versus West and East Coast, West Coast in the 60s. And they came right back and did it again with Vibe magazine in the 90s. So you're right. I'm not gonna get played.
I'm not getting
tricked out of position.
And let me to the hip hops, and we'll keep it hip hop. And then we got Monty coming on here. I just sent her the link. And let me tell you how stupid 50 and 40-year-olds are with hip hop. Let me tell you how stupid 50 and 40-year-olds are. People were saying things like Drake has to respond. He has to respond. These are 40-year-olds. He's worth $300 million. At least. He got to respond because that's hip hop. Let me explain to you something about hip hop. Let me explain something to you. Hip hop don't give a fuck about you.
He got to respond.
Hip hop loves you when you're hot. Hip hop ain't give a fuck about Ja Rule afterwards. Hip hop don't care when Craig Mack dies broke. Hip hop don't care when these rappers get exploited by record.
Got no union.
They have nothing.
Most of them going to die broke.
So stop telling me you got to do it for hip hop. Hip hop don't care.
That's like the code of the streets.
Like y'all kill me with this, and it be grown. I understand if you in your 20s, it be grown ass 40-year-olds popping off. And then if it gets violent, and somebody loses a life, everybody has memorials.
Yeah.
Everybody puts faces on T-shirts.
Well, that's what Kendrick said. I hate it when somebody dies and everybody, like he talks about that, and talking about nuns, like when everybody hypes it up, but then when somebody passes away, everybody want to do RIPs and thoughts and prayers, better off timelines. Like, no, don't keep a friendly fade. Keep it that way. Like we just talking, keep it rap. Don't push the envelope, and I'll take it further. That's something you don't want to do.
And LaShawn, we saw the Tyler Perry accused of sexual assault and harassment. They actually released all the text messages from him and the guy. The text messages weren't.
Do you think that's the conspiracy though? With this whole Tyler Perry,
bag, though. That dude was flirting.
Lady Q pointed out as soon as Tyler Perry got on BET, I guess he tried to buy it and they upped the price, and then he got on there and said, "I made more multi-millionaires than any of these studios," and then all of a sudden now this come out. You think they got something to do with it? It was just a coincidence.
No, that probably does have something to do with it, but I don't care because I saw you with TD Jakes pimping the game on the pulpit.
Oh, so you're against Tyler Perry too?
No, I'm just.
You can't be. You gotta support the black man trying to make.
No. This is where you get me fucked up. I ain't got to support somebody because of their skin color.
Drake got to respond. Mike got to support.
Why do we have to go after our people, though?
No. I didn't go because he goes after your own people. When he's on the pulpit with TD Jakes, I'm going to play the video. Next week, I'm going to play the video that I made when I first got there. And I said, y'all believe
our people, though. They don't go after their people. They uplift their people. They stand. You try to tag Cruz, dude.
No. Let's get back to the point. You said I got to defend them. I'm not going at anybody. I ain't got to defend them.
You can't add on. Don't pile on. We know what's going on.
Dog, if a double agent's a double agent, a double agent is going against you.
I don't think Tyler Perry is a double agent. I want to see some proof of Tyler Perry.
I think he's double.
I'm going to show it to you.
He's in double trouble.
He said
text messages. He's in double trouble.
What did the text say? Like,
I don't even feel comfortable.
Was it a young kid? It wasn't a young kid. I don't even know.
Dude was like 20 when he met.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, the text messages allegedly. The text message didn't prove anything. It didn't prove anything. My point, and I always got to go back to my point, is I'm not defending these people. You think because I'm not defending them, I'm going against them. I watch the crimes
that does Tyler Perry ultimately stand for? He's putting out stuff for us. He's putting our people on. He did.
So what he's
doing? The man said he made more black multimillionaires. I believe him. I see him. His cast is all black.
No, he's doing these movies.
He looked out for Elvin from the Cos. Remember Elvin ain't had no
job?
Yeah.
He needed a job.
He was up in Trader Joe's working. He said, "I'm gonna put him in a couple movies. Put him some money in his pocket." He had Sinbad and Straw.
He did some things. But he also cornered the boy in the trailer. They said they tried grabbing him.
So once you cut a check and get people rich, I can turn a blind eye to everything.
No, and corner people in the trailer. He did. They said allegedly, beyond all the flirtatious comments and holding the opportunities over people's heads and killing off characters if they didn't comply and flirting with the kid, they said he invited him to his trailer at one point. He asked if he was attracted to him. Allegedly, he cornered him in the trailer and started grabbing on his rear and everything else. Like they said, Tyler made a forceful move without consent. So he pushed the envelope. It wasn't just a bunch of text messages. And he wasn't talking in vanishing mode like Elon Musk. The guy got all the pictures of all the texts about them giggling and who getting Chipotle and you look thick. And I knew it because of the jeans you was wearing. The talk was crazy. And
he was flirting with a young man. So there was a girl. Is it different? Like if he just
it's power dynamic. That's the real thing. But Mike's right. It's not. We're so desensitized. Diddy raised our threshold for freakiness. So now when we hear regular flirting, like Mike said, it's nothing like that. It's nothing. It's nothing crazy.
Was he dressed up as a Medea when he was doing all this? Like, was he in character?
No, but I think the thing is, he was the boss. That's the problem. The problem was when he hired the man is when he really created a problem for himself. He should have just kept flirting with him. He should have connected him to other directors and all that other stuff, right? If he wanted to just do the whole power thing.
Right, we
hired him and then did stuff.
We got to get the money. Listen, because you make people millionaires doesn't make you immune. Above the law if you're doing something. And the trauma porn that he puts out, and I will get into that later. The triggering, he knows the formula now. And you can tell in the text messages, he knows the formula to pimp the game.
For that too. He knows the formula for harassment.
Well, I'm just saying we're innocent until proven guilty. Let the facts come out. Let's not pile on to Tyler Perry.
I never said he was guilty. What the fuck?
Because you started off with the energy like you was coming at him a bit. Like you didn't come off neutral.
Let me tell you something, Jay. Just because you write a bunch of goddamn movies doesn't mean I have to turn a blind eye and put you on some pedestal.
I don't want to see another black man.
No, anytime somebody can sing, anytime somebody can make a movie, anytime somebody can make a hot rap song, y'all turn these people into gods. And then when y'all get disappointed, everybody goes, well, what happened? It was in your face. When I watch somebody scam an entire church and I watch him say, yeah, I just wrote $1 million check because I felt the Lord and the God in me.
Took the mic and everything.
And then Tyler Perry falls, then TD Jakes falls out and a person who weighs less than me catches him and he goes, oh, and then Tyler Perry gets on the mic and goes, and y'all want to believe that? Because you know what? Because he can buy everybody. When anybody says he has made more millionaires, which we ain't even got no stats on that, because there's a ton of people who made millionaires, and we found out That wasn't good money because Diddy made some millionaires.
Yeah, we said that earlier. All money ain't good money. We did say that.
All this talk.
All right, let's get some money. I don't know why y'all got getting kicked up. I just want to have a happy flight and go to sleep on the plane and land and do a whole bunch of stuff. And Monty take me.
Got an intro.
And let me get her intro. Now
y'all
got.
Monty gonna piss somebody off. Get ready. Somebody's gonna be pissed off in one of these stories.
That's what I'm talking. I hate to say it, but that's why she's my daughter. Damn it.
The apple don't fall too far. They don't care about what they think.
Kick these bitches up. Shit.
Ruthless is crazy.
Let me find out.
No, it's been in our face the whole time. I remember when Aaron Hall was talking about "Don't be afraid" in the song, talking about violating people. You could yell and you could hit me. That's just making me more horny. We missed it. He said you can yell and hit me, and I'm gonna get excited. And then he said you can't leave. Right? Like,
I can't find Monty's intro. What's going on? What is going on with this? Like, who? I feel like somebody did something or.
Ruthless is the show. The show the young man is on for those watching. That's the name of the show, Ruthless.
What network is that? What streaming, you know?
I guess BT. That's what the top got to deal with.
Oh, where? All right, y'all. Wait a second. Everybody shut up for a second. Please. Sorry, I hate to be rude.
No, it's all good.
Where is the goddamn intro?
You can't talk. Mike can't. He can't read while you.
It's like parking. It's like parallel parking. Turn the radio down.
I can't hear that. Wait, I can't see.
Y'all really are distracting. Y'all really are distracting in my ear.
He said, "All right, be quiet for a second. I'm trying to see something."
Because I might have to introduce her without the intro.
No, let's do it. We can make one up. Good, Mike. I got you. I'll co-sign it. Let's go.
Pat his head. Can you pat your head, rub your stomach, Mike, at the same time? Like,
we'll do an impromptu intro. You make something up. We'll do like the old days. Do like the tunnel. Do it like Consha Hawkins, Jinkitan.
Mike say, be quiet. I'm trying to see something.
Let me see if I get a Tyler Perry so Jay Black can get back to riding his dick. Let me see.
God, no.
Let me see if I get a Tyler Perry. You want to play? I don't know why you be playing with me.
I just support my people that look like me. I like that root.
Yeah, you'll get lied to people about people who look like you.
I root for everybody.
You're not Clarence Thomas. I gotta leave a couple of them out. He can flew out like Kareem.
Hey, he look like you, Jay. What are you talking about?
Oh shoot. He can play his father, grandfather in the Tyler Perry movie.
Here's the thing with Amani. Now, Amani, the floor is yours.
Good morning, girl. What's going on?
Nothing. Are we ready?
All right. What you want to start with?
We're gonna start with the curfew. So why you get that clip ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead. You go get it started.
Right. Here's the thing. I know it's hard as a parent trying to realize that eventually the small child that you are going to bring into this world is going to become an independent being to themselves. But when do you have to start maneuvering and treating them like they are actually that adults? When does that transition have to actually happen? So we're going to play this clip and then we'll get into it.
There's a noise going on in the back with you. I'm gonna play the clip.
It's the bird.
Oh, it's the bird. Yeah, I forgot. We got the wildlife.
Ignore her, please.
All right, it's a long clip, so be patient, y'all. Be patient.
So what are we doing for curfews for our older kids, the ones that still live at home? Like obviously, like I have a 20-year-old and she's a good girl, like good grades. She's in school. She works, whatever. Like the typical good kid at this age right now. That she's kind of easy. But she does ask to go out sometimes, obviously. She's at the age of running out. What I have set so far is 11 p.m. curfew, Monday through Thursday. And that's mostly because me and my husband work. And we wake up early in the morning. And I don't sleep when she's out. So until she gets home. So 11 p.m. during the weekdays. And then 1 a.m. on like Fridays and Saturdays, because me and my husband don't work on the weekend. So, I'm okay staying up later. But when she does go to like these special occasion places, like yesterday she went to a club as a special occasion for her birthday. She obviously does not come home from a club at 1 a.m. I mean, I know that. So she gets like an extension, like a special privilege extension on those days. And she's only pushed it or done that 5 times maybe since she graduated high school. But yesterday she got home at 4:30 a.m. I was in communication with her the whole time. She left the club at 3:30, but then by the time she got home, got home, it was 4:30.
Oh, it irritates you when people when they do
that. Was good. So, but that felt really late. Plus, I haven't slept. I was waiting up for her. So I did fall asleep, but I put my alarm clock every 30 minutes. until she got home because I didn't want to fall asleep and then wake up in the morning and notice that she's not home in case of an emergency. You know, like, that's crazy. So my alarm clock went off every 30 minutes until she got home, just to make sure that she was okay and coming home, and that I didn't sleep through the night without knowing where she was. But 4:30 was really late. I don't have anything to compare it to because my oldest left the house when she was 18, so I didn't have a curfew for her. Obviously, she was out. And even myself, I wasn't the normal teenage case, you know? I had a kid. I had my oldest already. When I was 18, I had a 3-year-old. So that's a different scenario too. So what are we doing for curfews? Like, what's an acceptable curfew for a 20-year-old living at home? What? You know, she makes her own little monies and she pays for her own things. Like, she paid for her own outing, she paid for her own dinner out, she paid for her own Uber. You know, that wasn't my money either. Which I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But I'm not providing her with, you know, finances. So I don't know. Let me know.
All right, so Monty had to break out. I might as well play the rest of it because Monty's still not here.
No, that was good enough. We got to
just relax.
No, what is a good curfew for a kid?
She just keeps jacking, she says.
All right, relax, Jay. You're always fucking impatient, dog. You have no mental stamina.
The producer. Wrap it up.
Go ahead, Monty.
Okay, so this clip caused a lot of chaos. Some film like 20 or more is more than mature than enough to create your own curfew, which honestly, in this conversation, I kind of hate that word. And I feel like that's why some people are very against her, because it's such a childlike wording to use when you're talking about a 20-year-old. And then others feel like if you're still living under their roof, it's their rules, end all be all, which I also see, you know, that side of it too. But for me personally, me being 21, honestly, I get a lot of freedom. I do. Even when I was straight out of high school in 1920, I was not bothered or questioned. I was just kind of left to be free. But at the same time, I'm a respectful child. So if I'm called or texted or reached out to, I'm going to respond in a timely manner. I don't come into the house loud and obnoxious, and I don't get into any trouble. It's a peaceful night. Nobody's getting phone calls from the cops or anything of that sort. But also, I feel like my experience with freedom is different because since I was, and Michael Shaw might feel different type of way, but I was raised in a very strict household, okay? And so I think for me, my freedom today still equates to feeling like a privilege instead of like just this utter full-out right by age. But overall, did you have a curfew when you were 20? Would you have a curfew for your children other than Michael, because we know that answer? Or do you believe that one should be set? And that's the thing, y'all.
All right, this is what I don't like about the and then who does anybody want to go first before I jump in here? Because there's a bunch of notes I took on this.
No, you can set it off.
Set it off.
All right, the curfew thing is this one specific thing that bothered me about this lady. The lady said her situation was different because she already had a 3-year-old by the time she was at that age. So my problem with that is, so let me get this straight. This girl has acted responsibly her entire life and done the right thing. Not saying that having a baby is the wrong thing, but has done the right thing. But your situation was different. So you had no curfew because you had a kid at 16 years old. Then she has another concept at the end that because she's so long-winded and she's so drawn the fuck out that she just won't stop eating the goddamn strawberries and putting her. But my thing is, why is this girl getting punished? Because I know why you're being strict. You're being strict with the curfew because of what you did. Mm-hmm. So now you got a 20-year-old and telling her she has to come home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Listen, I know every parent's gonna be like, it's my rules, it's my rules. I'm responsible. I raised you. I know if this kid is built. Now, anything could happen. Anything could happen out when you out. Nobody wants their kids out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning because you know what you took part at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. But I hate when somebody has a strict situation simply because of the shit you did.
Mm.
Well, that's knowledge. You know better, you do better. You know, if I was out there, I know what's going on, so I need to protect you, right? That's the thought process behind that.
But go ahead.
Sorry. But like that's the difference though. Like when I got to a certain age, those conversations of him sharing his knowledge to why he's worried about this or worried about that were had. And that's like sharing your knowledge when you're like, hey, I went through this type of situation. Like, here's a heads up. You know what I mean? If you're ever in this situation, this is what you might not want to do, or this is what you might want to do, instead of just saying, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because in the back of your head, that's just saying no to say no. You're not giving somebody a valid reason or an explanation to why. So then it doesn't seem like knowledge. It just seems like unnecessary unnecessary opinion that's being given.
It's so you can have those boundaries to know. If not, you're going to think, oh, I can do what I want. Ain't no curfew. I'm good. They trust me. I can wild out. No, he needs to know that at any point I need to have some type of discipline and fear so that you know, hey, I'm not going to wild out. You need that.
But that's the thing. The way that before younger, very scared of this square up here. Very terrified. I didn't want to do nothing wrong, say anything wrong, look wrong, nothing. But now that I'm older, the way he programmed everything into me, it's a fear of him. It's a fear of messing up my life. What could go wrong for me that I got to deal with this years down the line from one night of something. So I think that be the bigger picture. Instead of being afraid of the parent, be afraid of screwing up your own shit. That's when it gets deeper. And when you really not doing nothing you're not supposed to be doing other than having a good time.
And parents, this 2:00 in the morning thing or 1:00 in the morning thing. Like, I get it. I'm not talking from what I think. I'm talking for where I've been. Whatever you're afraid of that they could be doing, and you got them come home at 2 a.m, they just gonna do it midnight. That's it. They just gonna move the timetable. So unless you tell them, listen, this is what's out there. And I hate to say this, and this is the thing, parents, I know. Some human beings, not your children, human beings have to learn some shit on their own. They ain't gonna know till they know. You could talk to your blue in the face. All you need to know, all your child needs to know is worst case scenario, I got you. I'm here for wrong or right. I got you.
So you good with your kid coming in 3, 4 in the morning, coming in with the sun
at 20?
No, apparently you saying they gonna do whatever regardless.
No. At 17 in high school,
at 20 years old.
At 20, I can.
20, you're out of school. They out of school. They working. They putting their name on the milk in the fridge. Like what are you doing, Mike? You cool with that?
I'm cool with it.
You ain't cool. Make a phone. You let Monty come in 4 in the morning if
at 20. Yes. Listen, at 18, once I hit 18, and I know, and that's another thing. It's so gender driven in our generation. It's so gender driven because when I was 18, they basically said go. When I was 18, I was leaving on Friday and coming home on Sunday. Like, I was leaving on Friday and coming home on Sunday, which was ridiculous, but that's what it was. But I don't know I think we think this curfew thing protects them from something that you don't understand. It ain't protecting them from nothing.
Nikki said ain't nothing open 3, 4 in the morning but legs.
But some legs.
And you know, if you leave a club at 2:00 in the morning, after you get to trying to play the let out, after you get trying to get the numbers, on the average, you wasn't home till 3:30, 4:00 in the morning. And you wasn't always smashing, Nikki. Even you, Nikki, wasn't always smashing, Nikki.
Getting some numbers.
In my prime, embarrassing, dysfunctional activities in my 20s, in my 30s, every night didn't end like that.
What about respect? Like Ms. Clark said, at 20, there's no curfew, but there's respect. Is there a respect not coming in your parents' house at 4 in the morning?
No, the respect is I'm out and I answered the phone and I answered the text message promptly, not on my own time, not when I felt like it, not, I'll get back to them when I feel like it. And I come into this house understanding that people are asleep. I am not being loud or dumb or stupid. I'm coming in minding my business. I don't even do too much. I might not even get in the shower just because it's too much noise.
But you know, the Ring camera got the motion. It can wake people up, your door or whatever. You come in, and I got to get up and go to work early more. That could be very disrespectful.
But it's not for me, not to me. Nobody in my house feels disrespected. But at the same time, even not with going out, sometimes I'm just up here till 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up and down the stairs. I'm cleaning my room. I'm rearranging furniture. I'm this, that, and the third. So,
Dr. Smith, do you have any opinion on it before she goes to the next subject?
I was on my own in terms of curfew, going to college. So 18, I was done with it.
That was my next point.
And plus, I want my children to be educated about it. I also want them to see that it's not as exciting as you thought. There's a little duality with that. Like the Amish be letting their kids for some time go do whatever they want so they can come back, in a genuine way to the way of life they was raised as. So part of me is like, you know what? Go out there and see. But also, I don't know, maybe because I grew up I've been in Philly so long. After like 2:30, 3 o'clock, I just think everybody should be in the house. I just don't, I heard Gilbert Arenas and them talking just as men. It was like, know what? After an hour, I just don't be at the house. I don't think it should be good to be at the house. Just in general, even for adults. I'm not even talking about really curfew with this. Like, there is a devil's hour. Like I've been on both sides of the game. There's a certain hour where it's like ain't nothing really good going on. Like once that clock came around 2:45 a.m., it was like a Cinderella moment, even for me as an adult, where I'm like, I'm gonna head on back. I'm a
Lady Q
clam bar maybe, but after that, it was aside from maybe 2 spots in the city, take your ass home.
So my daughter's about 22 and we're having this battle now. She needs to be in this house by 2 a.m. If she's not, she can stay where she's at. I have a 12-year-old and a loud ass dog. She needs to let me know if she's gonna be home so I can rest, but don't disrupt this house with your shenanigans. Listen, every house is gonna have their own situation.
Oh yeah.
Every house is gonna have their own situation. But let me just another thing I wanted to, and we can move on to the next one. I love it how we have these ages of 20 and 21, but we'll send our kids to college and they will lose their mind from their freshman year on. And it will go from you have to be home at 10 o'clock to you are living by yourself on a college campus.
Overnight,
every night, gotten your own rules, your own situations. And I don't ever tell nobody how ain't none of this easy. None of this is easy. With Monty, if you're blessed and you have your kids, you're gonna be like, there's gonna be a whole struggle. But one quick thing I want to say, when people say this is my house and my rules, and parents, you're gonna get pissed off about this is my house,
my rules. Get your own if you want to do it your way.
Let me explain something. You can't tell your kids to say that this is their home and then pull rank that this is your house. It's a very weird thing because I used to hear that this is my house. Let me tell you something. Without this family in this house, it ain't no house. So when people start claiming it's my house, nigga, it's really not. Without these kids, it ain't nothing.
It ain't a home.
I don't believe
it ain't nothing.
Not a home.
Hey, let them kids leave your house. There's nothing. It's just a bunch of wood, a bunch of cement. That's all it is.
It's still my house. Unless you paying that rent, unless you really being a real adult, you can't just boss up and make the rules. I still have to be. This is my safe haven. You still got to abide by my rules and do it yourself.
I think that some parents prioritize trying to work together with their kids so that they don't have to see them leave the house and go full blown into the world on their own by themselves individually on a bad note, because that is a real thing. Hey, it's your house, right? I don't get a say. I don't get any type of input. You don't care about my opinion. I'm out. And then now you don't have that relationship with your child anymore. And other people prioritize keeping and maintaining that relationship with their child, which is I want you to feel like you're heard and you're seen, and I see where you're coming from. And I don't want to be the reason that you're just throwing yourself into the wildfire just because I don't want to respect you as another person and being.
Just because I don't want to respect sound crazy. You should want to respect me. But go ahead.
I'm talking about the parents because you don't want to respect your child.
This is my thing.
Either deal with it or get out.
But this is my thing. This is my thing with parents. When the trump card is always this is my house. Y'all play it like y'all playing spades instead of having communication and trying to have a dialogue on why this needs to happen or why this shouldn't happen. Or having a dialogue, because parents still think they can just tell a kid, this is my house. So when they bounce, and now you're sitting home wondering if they're okay, That's you. When you use that as a trump card, that this is mine, this is my house. Okay.
You so grown, you want to know what it's like on your own? You want to be in this real world? All right, go ahead.
But see, that's the thing. Why does it have to be grown? Why can't it just be, hey, I kind of have a different view on something, on how we do things? Could we have a conversation? Could we compromise?
But your view don't overview my view when I'm paying the mortgage. Your view doesn't supersede that.
But that's not respectful. That's not respectful.
See, you keep bringing up.
It can't be balanced and even though.
No, but parents forget when you need your kids when you get old and decrepit. You need your kids to speak on your behalf, to be there for you, to nurse you, to make sure you're good.
You just threaten them.
You're threatening us. So
if you don't let me do this, I ain't gonna take care of you in 20 years.
But you have to respect I don't like throwing out the threats, but you have to, when your kid hits a certain age, you do have to start respecting them as an adult, because then you start wanting us to do adult things for you. You start wanting us to help you get shit together and make sure pieces is right order. Now people want you to help with the bills. Now they want you to go get some groceries. Now they want you to go pick up younger siblings, do this, down the third. So it don't work that way. If you want us to stay in a kid's place, then it has to be that forever, forever.
But Sean said when the kid is raised well, they will just know the respect, and the curfew won't be an issue. They know how to, what's inappropriate and what's, they know it. They ain't
exactly, and that was my perspective. I know it could be disagree from other people, but I know I'm being respectful. Because best believe it would have been brought to me if I was being disrespectful or came off disrespectful in any type of way.
And Lady Q said she never once said this is my house. We know, Lady Q. We know.
That's what I was. That's what I was saying. You want?
Well, you wasn't in the house when it was going down. Like you was outside. You was outside. Thank you, Lady Q. Thank you.
You want to be grown? Go be grown.
Now, my relationship with my son, I respect his opinion, and the other thing about your view can't be as equal as my view.
Nursing home.
That's a whole problem. That's a whole problem. But that's I give that to my generation. Just follow these rules or else. Like we went back to the other point. If you get pregnant, you ain't gonna live in this house. That's crazy. Like once things get once you have to be a parent, they can't live in your house.
No, you disappointed. It's like you got all these plans. You got this. Don't ruin it. Don't be out here at 4 a.m. Ain't nothing but what are we doing? And now you swerving from deers. Come on, alleged deers. Because you out getting high, you drinking, you smoking. What are we doing?
That's a whole. That's a whole. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. That's a whole. I've never been in that. I've never been in that experience. I've never been in it, and I'm not saying that.
I'm not coming home and the car got wrecked. I'm not coming home and I got a ticket. I'm not calling from a jail cell.
Tell me, Dad, you ain't gonna believe this. You know, such and such, and them. It's always a story. It wasn't even me.
For myself, but even overall, nobody wants to make that phone call, and I'm gonna have to.
It wasn't even my fault.
I made it. I crashed my mom's car. I came back in with the tow truck driver. I was riding shotgun. The car was on a flatbed. Dude, my mom was on the porch with the robe and everything, like a Tyler Perry movie, with the siren, with the lights flashing on her, just looking at me, thinking ahead. I felt like nothing but a piece of crap.
I told him my mom. I told him my mom's car, and everybody in the car got hurt. I was the story. But all right, go ahead, Monty. You ready for the next one?
See, I can't. I've never even touched anybody else's vehicle here.
Yeah, and it wasn't 3 a.m.
Thank you very much. All right. So here's the thing. Drug hotline. Do you have my clip ready?
All right.
As you all know, we're going to get real serious right now, guys. As you all know, addiction is cancer to this country. And with various options like rehab facilities and psychological options, what do you do to protect those whom are still stuck in the cycle of the sickness, but keep them alive? Go ahead.
Good evening, Norris. This is Jody. How can I support you today?
So I wanted to use a little bit of fentanyl and smoking.
This is NORS, or the National Overdose Response Service.
I'm here with CBC now, okay? You okay with going on speaker with me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, awesome. Give me 1 second, okay?
People call this anonymous hotline when they're about to use drugs like fentanyl.
Okay, you go ahead. You get started. Enjoy.
And operators like Jody will listen for signs of an overdose.
Okay.
How's it hitting? Hang good?
Yeah.
This is her first call tonight. She'll send EMS if she suspects something is wrong.
I feel like it's a little bit stronger, so I thought I'd better call just to be sure.
It's scary. It's scary because are they okay? Are they okay? That is what is hard in the head sometimes. No, I'm going to sit with you for at least 15 to 20 minutes, make sure that you're good, okay?
CBC News got exclusive access to Noors and some of their calls.
I'm so glad that you called in tonight.
It's not about stopping drug use, but keeping people alive. Here's another caller.
You don't want to tell your family, but you also don't want to be alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of embarrassing.
Most overdose deaths happen when someone uses alone.
Do you have any plans for this evening?
And surprisingly, callers are not who you might think they are.
Maybe some homework, some like counseling and stuff for criminology.
Oh, nice, nice.
You've got like athletes, you have bankers, you have people from the military that are calling in. These aren't usually the people we think of that use drugs, right? But they are.
It is a wide variety. People who are in school, in college, getting their masters.
These are not folks experiencing homelessness. These are folks with jobs. The highest rates of overdose, to be honest with you, in Canada are men ages 16 to 60 that work in trades.
I heard that there was a bad batch going around in my area.
What are you using?
Most of the calls come from Ontario, then Alberta, BC, and Saskatchewan. The hotline is trying to get at that large group of people that wouldn't use a safe injection site and is trying to keep their drug use hidden.
Still doing okay from that toke? Do you think you're going to do another one with me?
No, I don't think I need to do another one. I need to concentrate on my work.
Oh, for sure. Good evening, Norris. This is Jody.
All right.
What the hell?
It's obvious why this caused a lot of controversy, and with most people feeling like this is. Are we ready?
Oh, my bad. Dad, all right. First segment, y'all. Shut up. All right, here we go.
Okay. It's obvious why this caused a lot of controversy and why most people are feeling like some of this is the prime example of being an enabler, and others feeling like it's a win in a long time war. Even though the overall goal is to stop the drug use, the biggest priority is to stopping the deaths first. And honestly, prior to watching the clip, especially just hearing how she was speaking to them, it kind of did throw me off. It did make me feel a bit weird. But when I stepped outside of my, unbiased mind, because I'm not in the life of addiction, so I had to kind of look through another view, and I realized, no, for you to feel comfortable to make that phone call, somebody has to make that environment for you to not want to hang up, for you to, nobody in that situation wants to be embarrassed or feel like they're pathetic or anything of that sort. So I think the way that she plays it is very, very smart to continuously get people calling back, and they are actually saving lives. We can hate it, we can dislike it in any shape, way, or form, but people aren't dying. So that's the biggest part. So, do you support the drug hotline? Would you recommend it to somebody? Would you feel that this is a viable option, even though it's only in Canada? Because, America, we're backed up. So
I think it's look, somebody who's battled with addiction. I think it's a measure. I don't know if it's the answer, but it's a measure of keeping people safe. And, people get uncomfortable, but when, we're okay with having designated drivers for people who deal with alcohol and get drunk. We're okay for people saying, hey, I don't want you to drink alone because I know that can be dangerous if you drink alone. I mean, we have a whole bunch. When it comes to fentanyl and crack and heroin and all that, so we look at it differently. This helpline, look, everybody, it gets shocked and appalled. We do the same shit with alcohol every day without even knowing it. We give people, hey, we call people, you drinking, you all right? Or the famous thing is, I don't want you to drink alone. Do you know how crazy it is if you told somebody, I don't want you to smoke crack alone? Can you imagine? Go ahead, Monty.
I just want to respond to Nikki's comment, because I don't think what people realize with this, if you are in active addiction, you are not, and I had to learn this as well, you're not making a conscious decision. We have to cut that from the entirety of the dynamic and the thought process. It is not a conscious decision, because when your brain is now dependent on a substance, your frontal lobe, which is what makes your decisions, is not 100% working the way that it's supposed to. So you don't know your real rights or your wrongs or what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And you can't go through the thought process of this is a bad idea. But these people calling is a sign that they do one day want to see sobriety. It is. You have to admit that. And I don't care if you go to rehab 500 times in your life. That shows me that you do want to live. You do want to get out of this, but it's just something that is extremely, extremely hard when your mind is fucked up. Like, Jay, you have to think about that.
What's your comment, Jay? And then we'll go to Doctor.
I think is yes, they're gonna do it anyway. But I think this is encouraging them to continue to do it because, like, okay, if something happens to him, I know I'm gonna be safe, but I'm still gonna chase this high. So I think it's crazy, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I think that's encouraging. That's helping to be an enabler instead of trying to get them to help and support the, hey, go to this rehab, put you in as inpatient. Because if you're mentally strong enough to call to make sure I'm not going to die, so you could I would try to work on that piece of it. But yeah, I'm not going to encourage you to keep getting high. That I know you might still die. Being on the phone don't make this going to be there fast enough to save your life potentially. So I'm
it's
not for it.
better than you sitting in a corner in your room by yourself shooting up and then somebody finds you a week, 2 weeks later. Sometimes that's just what it is. When you are dealing with somebody who's in active addiction, sometimes you just have to let them rock so that you can start coming up with a plan so that you can start. Sometimes people have to fall to want to get back up because that's your own being. That's your own thing. So I'm not going to leave you on the way my family is. You're not going to be left on the side of the street doing crack.
Miss Clark said, are they encouraging or not? It sounded like she was like, yo, how'd that high hit? Did that hit good? You felt that one? It seemed like they was coaching them up. Like, yeah.
See, now it's a type of ignorance that kind of goes along with the statement because we know that she's speaking to them in this manner for them to feel comfortable to share the information with her. She needs to know, how are you feeling? Was it too strong? Do you feel like you're going to pass out? When you really break down, she's asking medical questions, but just changing her terminology to make that other person feel more comfortable with the conversation that they're having.
Asha said, yep, and that's part of the problem. We supported some of these people that helped to destroy our children and our community. You talking about the drug dealers?
Or the drug companies with the Oxycontin and all that?
Oh, the drug companies, yeah, the drug companies, money being raised by not one but two crackheads. That's she's talking about herself. That I had 8 kids that I had to take care of. Is why I feel the way I do. My mom died of cancer, but smoked crack until her last breath. And there's no listen.
And I feel you. I also had to take care of Michael too, but it don't change how I see the environment for what it is. That's the whole thing. We can be angry at it. We can be mad at it. But if I would have stayed angry and stayed mad, we wouldn't have the relationship that we have today. We wouldn't be where we are today and able to have the hard conversations and things of that sort. So you just, and I get that's a stressful situation 101,000%. Now, me and his relationship was different to where I could never in my mind fathom being like, you just go to the side. We might need a break, but I could never be like, you're just pushed off. You're just pushed away. And if he would ever felt like he was going to realize, I would hope that he would at least make a phone call like that than anything, because that shows progress. And you have to give people something like.
And to Nikki, I just want to tell you, Nikki, this is what they don't what they don't tell people. It don't always end in a happy ending.
No,
the majority of the time it doesn't end in a happy ending. So I get why you don't have any empathy. I've never felt what you feel, so I can't even imagine what it feels like when somebody never stops and you have to deal with the trauma of what you had to deal with for life. So I can't debate your feelings. I will just say this back to the point of this topic was this lady ain't trying to stop people from doing drugs. She's just trying to get them to live through this day. This ain't trying to get somebody to miraculously decide today's the last day. She's just trying to make sure people don't die while they're doing it. And I applaud that. The enabling part, yes, she knows they're about to do it. She's just trying to do the best she can to figure out a way, of this organization trying to do the best they can, because these kids are dying in mall parking lots doing fentanyl. There was a couple at a sporting event in LA. The couple died in the afternoon when the usher came to them to shake them, and they were dead.
What's the ultimate goal though? Because when I look at that clip, and is the goal to have them stop, or is the goal just to help them through it every time?
I told you it's not to, it's so they don't die while they're doing it.
So for how long? Like, because my vision is the ultimate goal is to get them help. So it's never to get them help. The goal is
not
never
what you're here for. Her job is to get them through the night, to get them through the afternoon, to get them through this high without them dying. So y'all want somebody to be like, well, is this helping? Yeah, it's just helping them live through this high. Monty, sidebar comment: does she really need to be eating, chewing, snacking on breakfast while she's giving the whole? Oh, they're talking about you. Wait, that's way before.
No,
That's
I was
way
about
before.
to say.
Dr. Smith, what you got? Let me read this, and then I go to Dr. Smith. Let me read Lady Q. I never once was angry with my mom for being addicted, but I experienced the blessing of having a recovered mother for more of my life than I didn't. So I will always have empathy, but I see why. Dr. Smith, your turn.
No, it's funny about the eating. I was going to say that need to be a topic in the future. We need to talk about people making these clips while they got their food and taking breaks, chewing and everything. And that's crazy. But no, I thought it was tantamount to people stopping the bleeding. You know how people talk about, they even do trainings now in places like Chicago, and they teach people how to stop the bleeding and how to do, temporary care till they can get to a place where they can get real help, right? And when I was hearing her talk, like you said, just make it through the high, make it through the night, be a potential on-ramp in case you ever do reach that moment where you need help and reach out and want help. I'm sure they would feel comfortable talking to that person who they were. If you're comfortable getting high with a person on the phone, then you're comfortable telling them that you're ready to take the next step. And I'm sure that they're more than well-versed in a million different ways to provide services to people if in the event they do make it to that point. But I'm sure that the primary focus, like you were saying, Mike, is just to stop the bleeding, to make it through the high, to make it through the night, and to be somebody to talk to. Because I think that's a big part of it. When they talk about the trades, I know for a lot of those demographics, that's a lonelier life than people who are going to office parties and all that. If you know anybody who works in construction and these different trades, a lot of times it could be a lonely existence. Even though you're making great money, you don't have the same camaraderie you have at a radio station or at an office where everybody's kind of like a team, literally working as a team. So a lot of it doesn't really deal with the age and the education or even how much money you're making. It deals with people who don't have people to talk to and communicate with, especially in moments where they're dealing with a lot of different temptations and trauma. So just being somebody to call, I think is amazing, and gives people the opportunity to make it to the next step before being found, like I said, a few days later.
And people who make this phone call, you might be onto something, Dr. Smith, because let me understand something. I don't want to make a phone call if I have a drink in my. The last thing I want to do is make a phone call,
talk to somebody,
because I want to focus. Yeah. I want to get the full feeling of what is about to happen. So when they make that phone call, it could be a step where they're trying that
to cry for help in a way.
They are recognizing how dangerous that this really is, and they're still doing it.
Is this a good analogy? Is it like the parent that allows a kid to have sex in their house and give them the condoms because they're gonna have sex anyway? So let me just make sure that they're safe in a safe environment. Is that the same
because addiction is not a conscious decision. That's why it's not a good example.
She's not giving them the drugs.
Yeah, it's not a thought process. It's not that's not how it works. Your brain, you get addicted to something. It's like having to drink water or eat food. It's just survival. How do you get to it next? So that's why some examples just don't fit.
Yep. Good morning, Cambodia. I saw Johnny's up from Australia as well. What up, Johnny?
Good day from Cambodia. All right, Cambodia. You put Trump as an idiot, and we get him from all over the world. Jesus.
No, they've been coming in. That Trump, something about Trump's name and those people that come out. They said, if you think Trump's an idiot, you're an idiot.
All right, well, let's wrap the segment up, Monty. It's every Wednesday, 8:00. Go ahead. Wrap it up, girl. Wrap it up.
It's just money. That's the thing. Follow me on TikTok. Make it happen. See, we went up. A little bit.
Okay, Monty. 658 followers. Okay. Look at Monty. It's just
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we just pimped the game.
Hey, milk.
Bye, Monty. That just feels weird.
I'm going to say milk in the game
again. Yup.
I remember that.
There are levels to to drugs, the opiates have a higher risk of overdosing than the THC or cocaine. And I just want to say, I sound like a broken record. You do know,
crack.
After we say all this, no drug kills more people than alcohol. Just want to let you
know. No, that's always
no
important.
drug. No drug. No crack, no fentanyl, no nothing. And we celebrate as a culture. Every time we get a chance, we celebrate with drinking. I was making sure this was not some kind of self-proclaimed socialist Marxist communist group meeting. We don't even know what half of that shit means, Ken. Except Dr. Smith.
First of all, I was making sure. Who the F deputized you to make sure of anything? This history of people surveilling and having self-deputized and Zimmerman type authority over Black assembly is traumatic and problematic. Like, who are you? You're not even top flight. Like, I was making sure.
I just stopped by to make sure. Yeah,
on the authority of who?
It's educated people on the show, King. Though is people that. Not, I mean, I'm not the one with all of the 4 or 5 masters and the doctorates, but
I was making sure. Just
we got
check on y'all. Make sure I had y'all papers.
Different things. We got
checking on freedom papers over here. Just making sure all y'all not vagrants, right? Y'all not slaves, right? Y'all free. Okay, y'all free. Okay, y'all free. Y'all go free.
Nigga, White Chocolate said alcohol almost took me out. Yeah, I'm with you, girl. I'm coming on I normally never keep the days. I'm not the type of person who keeps the days and keeps the dates of the last drink and all. But on this journey, I have kept the days. Like, I have kept count. I glance. Like, I know the day. June 25th is a big day for me. I know the day. But I don't like getting too much into the days because people get very depressed when they fall off or relapse. And one of the things that they beat themselves up the most is, I had so much time. I had so much time in. That's why I don't make it like a huge highlight. I had so much time in. It's not about the time. If you had a drink and you messed up that day, it was that day. And then you go like, yeah, but I had 2 years. Okay. The Biden administration facilitated the entry of designated enemies of the United States, funded terrorism, ran psychological operations on all of us, using our money, committed massive fraud. Welcome to America.
Can you leave that up for 1 second? You ready for this one? Watch this one. As an African American studies professor, I'm make one adjustment to help change the perception. America facilitated the entry of designated enemies of the United States. They funded terrorism, ran psychological operations on all of us Black people using our labor. So Christopher Columbus, Tuskegee, right? So the Biden administration, you want to start in the 90s? This started in 1619. We're looking at this from different perspectives and experiences. So when people come in and start problematic analyses in the 1970s and 1990s, I already know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a child. We've been dealing with this for 400 years. Zoom out. Extend your perspective on problems and terror and exploitation, especially when you got 2 African American and Puerto Rican men who people can go to war but can't vote and label the territory like you had a right to. Like let's not do that. Like, level up, brother. Level up, socialist, Marxist, communist. Level up, because the conversation is a little too high grade if you talk about Biden's the problem. Before there was ever a Joe Biden. That's why Rakim said in his song, John Holy Hawkins, there was a ship called the Good Ship Jesus, which brought some of the first enslaved Africans over here. We've been dealing with this far longer than Biden. Come on, man.
Put his last comment up there, because let's just do the rhetoric. Right, I'm in a good mood.
The Trump name and the subject is what got these
Democrats and the party committee treason in the United States of America will not unite until they are held accountable. Democrats, how about the whole system needs to be held accountable?
Yeah.
How about the whole system?
You sound 13.
And the fact that you're against all that, but then you got a king as your profile pic.
That part
is a contradiction in itself.
And the fact that they think that people, especially Black people, they think we're partisan. Like, they think that that's what drives us primarily, our partisanship. Like, what?
And
who anything about the Black or Puerto Rican experience in America? It's never been about partisanship.
And who freed y'all? That would be the Republicans. And who's deporting us now?
Everybody knows the party's flipped. People dropped out of high school know that at a time in history, the people who used to be labeled Republican became Democrats. People know about the flip. It's not like a thing. You're not getting that one over anymore. Where it's like the Republicans. No. The people who were the Democrats today were labeled Republicans. They know the parties pretty much. Like, people know the history of the flip of the parties.
Joe said, "This is our country." You don't run shit. See, that's the propaganda. You think
It sounds like you can't be in the sun for more than 2 hours. It sounds like you usually have a smaller penis on average than other people. It sounds like demographically you haven't been replacing yourself even enough to take care of your elders, and you know that the world is browning and you're the global minority, less than 9% of the people on the planet. It sounds like you scared and insecure and want to be more like somebody, and you're so obsessed with them that you enter their spaces even when you're uninvited, trying to be centered. It looks like you weak and you a devil the Bible speaks of. It looks like your days are numbered and your time is almost up. Comment on that.
Drug game, whether legal or illegal, is big business. The American government are the biggest drug pushers, unfortunately. I had a person who told me,
and that's a sergeant right there. That's a police officer, the sergeant right there, breaking it down.
And I'm not gonna say who the person was. I had a person who told me what I did when I was selling drugs is my hustle was whatever they were prescribing, I could get them that for them, because those were the best drugs that I could sell. Wow. Those were the drugs that made me the most money, were the ones that you got a prescription for that wasn't made by me, but I had access to get to them. Not me saying this, I'm saying somebody else told me.
I hear you. You the hookup.
That's the money. That was where the money was at. The person told me, I didn't deal with crack. I didn't deal with heroin. I didn't deal with all that. I got the drugs that were prescribed at your local CVS and your local Walgreens and your local Rite Aids. And I got the plug, and that's where I made my money, because those addicts, not only are they loyal, not only are they very organized on, and not only once you get comfortable, their money is reliable. The drug dealers told me their money was reliable. I never had a problem getting my money from them.
And less legal problems, right?
Only on this, a black only
They
channel.
just talking at this point. Yeah, at this point. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Well, welcome. They give chat rooms to anybody, even dope for fiends. Okay. All right. Well,
how are you doing, Mike? Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
I put the link there though. If somebody can really speak and not scream and holler, that would be dope.
48% of black women in the workforce are employed in the government sector.
Wait. If anybody past third grade, if you're in the workforce, then you're not unemployed. You're unemployed when you're not part of the workforce.
Yeah. So is that supposed to be a diss? Is that supposed to be a?
Maybe it's a joke. Maybe they're trying to like write as though they know how to write a sentence and contradict themselves in 8 words or less.
People make white people hate you.
Okay. Ready? Yeah, man, nobody cares. You lost the glow.
Put that back on. Put that back on.
Wait.
Energy.
Put that on. You people make white people hate you.
Nigga, please.
And continue on.
Yeah.
Oh God. Go for it.
Make white people hate you. I mean, I would hope you were a bot, but I think you're a real person. I mean, we don't have to get the history. We can get Dr. Aaron Smith to give you a history of what you know.
Yeah, nobody's denying you jobs, healthcare, access to opportunity, upper mobility. Nobody's giving you psychological warfare, forced sterilization. Nobody's lynching you. Nobody's burning you. Nobody's enslaving you. You don't even know what racism is. What are you talking about?
To remain a white majority country. It's too late.
Ready. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Ain't that white race is going to be removed by
ready.
Because everybody.
Time will tell. Time will tell. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
You people, you people.
Oh, that's all they want. They want a reaction. That's why.
Mickey, you can't. It's like the protest. You can't go out there. You can't.
I'm like Ibrahim Traoré. You know, I want people to learn more about Burkina Faso and take.
What did the sergeant say? The sergeant's comment. There was a comment that sparked something. When you're mentally enslaved, you do not need change. Drugs are a form of slavery because of that mental challenge. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, addiction is real.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, it's no longer a conspiracy theory. If I would have told you back in the 80s that do you know this crack was being put in to LA by the government, y'all would say it was a conspiracy. What? Yeah, they actually put it in there to set it up. We finally crossed over.
Billy,
that's right. That's how you gotta look
Facebook.
At it.
He watching on Facebook. He said, "Oh, we got all
bigger.
these." You got all
getting bigger. We growing.
It's my fault. I put Trump's an idiot in the title.
That's good. The same way they.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We gonna use him the way he try to use us. Use the name. take their time and energy the way they vampired off of us for so many years, like in Sinners, right?
He said
now we got them coming to our spaces. Using their energy.
Go back, and then we're gonna move on to everything. Go back. Go. He said the summer of liberation. You're against CRT, the summer of liberation, America first. Do you understand how fast you're losing your people? The people that you claim to represent. You're the ones getting fucked. You're the ones. You're the ones who can't get a living wage. You're the ones who do you understand? They're milking the shit out of you, and you think you're part of the team. You're not part of their team.
Can I read one definition for edification? You can Google this. All the people calling in today, and even all our listeners, regular listeners, shout out to y'all because y'all are the real focus. There's a man named Noah Webster. You might be familiar with Webster's dictionary. You can Google Noah Webster 1828 definition of American, because they keep talking about American. This is the definition. Copper-colored races refer to the original inhabitants of the Americas, specifically the indigenous peoples, found there by Europeans, but now apply to the descendants of Europeans born in America. You're not even the first Americans. The copper-colored people who were here when y'all got here are. You sound stupid. 1828, Noah Webster. Copper-colored races were the original Americans, the inhabitants of the Americas, specifically the indigenous people found there by the Europeans, but now applied like a freak. You stole the name. Even the name is stolen. A thief and a murderer and a devil and an evil force from the beginning. You're a liar.
Donnie, blue hair, bull nose. Okay. All right. So we got the Stephen A. Smith clip, and then we can get on out of here.
But you notice something, Mike? You notice when you say a fact, they don't come back and talk about the fact. That's one thing I learned about trolls. When you put up a fact, they don't say, no, that's not true, professor.
They can't say that.
That's not what the dictionary says, because people right now are already Googling 1828, Noah Webster, definition of American, copper-colored. You can look it up yourself. They talking about us, the original inhabitants. We should be deporting you, devil.
That being said, it's the uniparty now. All right, Rose, gotcha.
I don't care. We took it.
There you go. And that's when you know you won with a devil. If you ever study the Bible when it says "come out of him, Legion," or in Sinners where the demons reveal themselves, right? Because at first the demons try to be slick. At first the demons say, "Invite me into invite me into the juke joint," right? At first the demons are trying to coax you in, but at some point, when you realize that the demon is the demon, they just reveal themselves and try to grab your arm and bite you and snatch you out of the juke joint. So when you see the devil reveal themselves, you know you've done your role. Come out of him, Legion. These demons, these devils being casted out, rebuked. That's right. We took it. Yeah, you got to make the mask slip off. Devil be a devil. Show your horn, show your face.
But once again, when you keep putting yourself in, we took it. You didn't get shit.
Yeah, you didn't take nothing.
You didn't get shit. Except you're getting taxed. Your kids aren't getting educated. You're not getting educated. They're being sent off to war, and you're watching a king run your kingdom. He lied to you directly to your face. He lied about everything directly to your face. And you went and you voted for him. Yes, the government brought drugs into the country, black communities. Nothing was said. It didn't become a problem, epidemic, until it started hitting white communities. You know what it is, Sarge?
Yeah, Eminem said it. Middle America now is a tragedy. Now it's so sad to see an upper class city having this happening.
King at home in a small room. That is why it is in the schools, on the radio, TV, movies, funding, drag queens, reading hour, pumped out studies claiming to back up things, etc. You're all over the place, while including political messages that led you into the left, far left. The fact that people still think the far left or the far right give a fuck about you.
Or that most black people even look at life or the world in those terms.
The far right, the far left.
You go on the block and people are like, yeah, you part of the far left or the far right, brother. What's going on? What's today's mathematics, God? Far left or far right? Peace, power, wisdom, and understanding. Partisanship. Like what?
You are far from knowing what's being done to you. How about that?
Yeah,
you are far from knowing exactly how you're being used.
You're far from knowing who you're talking to.
You're far from it.
You can't generalize white people as evil or the devil. It's racist. You should know better. Dr. Smith, with all your degrees, you should know better. They're not all devils.
First of all, they're not white. You talking about Europeans or you talking about white people? Because there's a difference, and that's why people in Europe don't call themselves white. Marinate on that.
Come out from among them, the word of God.
Yes. You're of their father, the devil. His works you will do. Deceive, enslave, and destroy. You author confusion. You don't call here adding to the conversation. You don't call it like adding on, as the gods would say. You don't call here contributing new topics and perspectives. You don't utilize your platform to inform your demographic and share the good word and conversations being had here. You are an author of confusion. You're trying to distract and destroy unity and progress and try to take the conversation in a different direction than the one it's going in. You're acting as a devil.
But hey, we got somebody who's on your team, Stephen A. Smith. So we got a clip of Stephen A. Smith. He was talking about the senator, and this is the comment that he made. I think Jay got it ready.
Senator Alex Padilla, can Kristi Noem speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? To shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it, huh? You, a United States senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh? Couldn't do it, huh? Here you have this senator, Alex Padilla.
So that's his hot take. So he's saying that the senator was wrong.
Hey, he does it. Everything he said he would do, even the bullshit. Listen, we probably should have done it when we did it because D.L. Hughley had an amazing response to it. Now outrage. Stephen A. Smith wants outrage to be done and conform to a protocol. Outrage is supposed to be conformed to a protocol because that's what Stephen A. Smith is used to. Hey, you have to compose yourself. You're a senator. No, they're kidnapping people. They're kidnapping people. I repeat, you don't have to be composed when they're kidnapping people. Innocent people. Kids. Kids is the word that you guys use when the kids come. That's when you guys pay attention. When human beings, regular human beings in 20s and 30s get swiped off the out of public sites, it's okay. But they're taking kids out of foster homes. So excuse me, Stephen A., if he wasn't composed to ask the question. Because I know, the guys you hang out with at Fox and your Republican friends are so composed. They follow protocol, don't they?
You lie.
They follow protocol.
Stand up and interrupt Obama.
Yeah, they follow protocol when they call the president of the United States a liar.
Middle of the State of the Union address.
Yeah, Trump followed protocol when he took part in crimes of sexual assaults that he was proven to be in. He followed protocol. I get it, Steve. You want politeness now. Your beef is he wasn't polite. He didn't wait to let the other person speak. He didn't let them finish. That's your hot take. Thank you, Legs. Have a great day. You too. Have a great day.
And she was talking about taking over. She said, we're not going away. We are staying here to liberate the city from the socialist and the burdensome leadership that this governor and that this mayor, like have placed on this country and what they have tried to insert into the city. So if somebody's standing above the podium talking about staying here and liberating the people from the mayor and the governor, then we have entered a realm where there's a conversation about potential treason, and it's a constitutional crisis. So like you said, respectability politics in a moment like that is what they used to do to us when they were sicking dogs and all that. Y'all should behave. Y'all moving too fast. Y'all yelling too loud. Y'all singing too much. It's never a right way to do it. People, you say, what's the right way to protest? And for 400 years, we have not gotten a proper answer yet. And the only right way to protest that we've learned in the past year and a half is to be white when you do it. There's not a right way to protest.
No, so you only got 546 subscribers, Mike. What are you doing?
We just
on YouTube, you only got 59 people on YouTube. They ain't got nothing to do with Facebook or all the other platforms. They don't work, Mike. You came with your neck.
Obsessed much? You just did all the stats? You sound like Tyler Perry trying to get a date with the actor.
Mark, understand. I have a reaction. I'm living in a world where we don't even promote the show.
The internet's not a real place.
We don't promote the show.
Damn sure don't.
And you still made it here.
and you found us.
Good point.
We don't
and you
play
watching
clips.
us.
We don't play clips on TikTok and Instagram and cut up to. We have yet to do that. We just have a loyal following that we've sat and we've entertained for years. We have yet to even try and monetize this channel.
No
banking information has ever been attached to YouTube or any of these places. This is just a conversation that we have. That's
their
it.
greatest fear, because now they can't call our sponsors.
You can't call sponsors. We're not compromised. This is an open dialogue that we have that we don't even have to put your comments up, but we choose to put everybody's comments up.
Everybody
That's
has
equality.
A voice. This is a community.
Because equity and inclusion.
Family. That's what we are.
We know you like that diversity, equity, inclusion we affording you.
Don't say DEI. You can't say CRT, DEI. You can't say woke.
We give everybody a fair shot. Everybody's comments.
You can't say certain words. You can't say certain words.
They can't say certain words.
It has been a lot of weird names that popped up.
It's just the Maroon colony. The Maroons were the people who came here and pretty much immediately rebelled against the enslaved people and built communities in the swamps, whether it was in Jamaica.
You muted yourself. There's some reason you were breaking up. You muted yourself.
Oh, I was saying I'm part of that Maroon colony. Some people got here in America, the ones that didn't jump over the boat or ride on the boats. Some people got here, and the second they got here, they was like, oh, hell no. They started burning crops, breaking tools, poisoning masters, and running away incessantly until they built their own communities. So I'm one of them ones. I'm one of them ones where who you talking to, what we could say and what we could do, and you people that I've been doing this for over 40 years, just telling the devil to their face. I don't care what you do. You can't kill me, you can't stop me, and you can be annihilated through other people having sex. So it must be a rough life. I'd be scared if the people I lived amongst, all they had to do was procreate freely and I wouldn't exist anymore phenotypically. That must be a very frightening thing to fear genetic annihilation every moment of every day. And that's why you act the way you do every moment of every day. You're scared of being extinct and abolished by black love.
Yeah. It's a good thing Kamala didn't become the president, because who would have wanted to save the $45 million that they spent on the parade for 12 people?
The parade that nobody showed up for.
Before they fix the streets, that might be a higher bill when they finish fixing all these streets with the heavy tanks.
Who would want this?
It's his
party. Who would want the term on? But to the gentleman who talked about our subscribers, hey, like and subscribe. Come join the family.
Hit that notification Liberty Bell.
But honestly, if you want to talk about it, after I leave here, I will board a flight to go perform, because that's where I make my money.
Real life.
If I was worried about making views and likes and making the money, I'd be like this. I'd be pissed off right now.
Tearing it all down. But no.
But welcome. Nina Rose. So they pulled a 17-year-old illegal out of a foster home and deported him. Now, I haven't looked into this further, so I assume you have. How long was he here for? Where are his parents? Already home? See, this is the problem.
Who calls people illegals in 2025? Who talks like that?
This is the problem. You were so easily to be on to try and diagnose. Well, where were their parents? Where were they this? They're making money off of doing this. They're not doing this to make you safe. Mm-hmm. This is not going to change your financial well-being. This is changing corporations' financial well-being. They're not doing it to protect anybody. Now, they have a racist agenda in Project 2025 who wants ethnic cleansing. They get the benefit. Because the inferiority complex that happens is that you truly believe that this would be a great place if it was white. But the funny thing is, your forefathers didn't even believe that. They knew they couldn't build it if it was all white.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got all them Africans if they thought it was going to be great.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will also change that. The second thing, two things can be true. It's not changing anything. The fact of the matter is, if you just had amnesty and you just actually... These people that you're taking out were actually paying taxes. The government is actually working against themselves.
Oh yeah, they're gonna see. No, it's imminent. It's coming soon. These numbers, I think the Fed chairman is commenting tomorrow. If not today, I think it's tomorrow. And a lot of these numbers they've been suppressing and hiding with the whole talk about the tariffs and the impact and all the propaganda around it. The chickens are about to come home to roost, and people are going to realize how people have been buying less food and all that other stuff. And the real numbers are about to hit. So get ready to learn about the impact of all these deportations and incarcerations and the people not leaving their house because they're afraid.
And I don't care about Democrat or Republican. So I'm just going to make that before I make this statement. It's the red states that are going under right now under this regime.
What about Nebraska? Nobody's going to do our farms.
It's so bad. They so don't care about you. Trump literally said, we're going to do the ICE thing, but we got to stop doing it on the farms because the farms aren't going to be able to actually take care. They can't. Do you see? It's not about you.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's not about you.
And as far as the family, again, historically, when they were snatching babies, cutting black women's wombs and stomping babies out, when they were snatching children from family members' arms the second they were born on plantations, the father was there. The mother was there. So all this, what about the parents? The parents been there for 300 years and they still couldn't escape the terror of white supremacy. So whether the parents are there or not, they were there in the 60s. They were there in Jim Crow. They were there during antebellum period. They were there during Reconstruction when you let the National Guard loose on them in the South, and they had the Great Migration where millions of Africans ran from the South because they removed all the protection and the troops and the Hayes-Tilden Compromise. The parents were there. The parents were there. The parents were there, and you were still acting like devils and still murdering and lying and killing and stealing, whether you were taking people's farms or taking their lives or taking their body parts off of them as to sell as souvenirs after you lynched and burned them. So please don't act like the parents' presence have in any way impacted the last 300 years of black people's suffering. You stupid. The common denominator is the evil in your community and not the presence in ours.
Well, let me get to let me play the music when I read this one because this is great.
Oh, it's late. I gotta go too, y'all.
Yeah, I gotta get out.
Wow,
then I gotta go.
One more clip. I'll do one more with y'all.
This is the one. This is the good old one. You dug in the crates for this one. This is the good. This is the good one. Illegals are taking so many jobs, so much opportunity for our kids coming up. Get ready to grow your wealth and better communities. Okay, from a basic 1 + 1 = 2. What jobs were the illegals taking that you wanted?
Well, now they open. Let's see you go out, go sign up. Go apply.
This is why Trump said we gotta stop because nobody's gonna take the jobs. This is the moronic thinking. All right, they're taking our kids' jobs. I didn't want my kids in those farms.
No, or the Home Depot they raided. People sitting outside Home Depot just trying to have an honest day's work. But now you can do it. Now the person who typed that, now you can go to Home Depot and wait outside.
You can go to Home Depot and you can wait outside. And when I drive up, ask me, I see that you want your deck built in the backyard. I can build your deck for $1,000. And then you can come and bring your nails and all your equipment. And if I decide not to pay you because you got the job illegally, then I just won't have to pay you. But that's part of the job of being outside of Home Depot and being a freelancer.
Now it's available to you.
Now you can get it.
Mm-hmm. Thank America. Go Trump.
You can, those are the jobs they took from you. No, those are the ones.
First of all, were you the ones doing those jobs previously? Because if I can recall correctly, the majority of the manual labor in this country, even the building of the White House, was primarily done by people who were exploited. And they're mostly black people doing most of the manual labor in the history of the country. So let's not act like that's
construction. You can get all those jobs and have no job stability because they can fire you on site at any time. Go get those jobs. They don't have a union, Eric.
Yeah, why are you online typing when you got all these new job opportunities? He's deported so many people. You should be too busy working.
Go back to his comment, the roofing and everything. Go. You go do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go get
You might be
it.
typing from the site. You might maybe you are doing it. Maybe you're on the roof right now. Site. You're taking a break. Got your little sandwich with your little tin lunchbox like back in the day to make construction great again. And maybe you just taking a break and you decided to talk to us. So I don't want to assume.
No. Eric, go get the jobs when you're in 100-degree weather in Texas. And you're building a home complex, or you're building more factories, and it's
tar on the roof.
And
that's the worst one.
You're putting the tar on the roof. Go get it.
I did that before.
Now, once again,
100 degrees.
To all the people from foreign countries that live here, I don't want to actually generalize that that's all you do. Because, there are people who are lawyers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not taking those jobs. The jobs you're talking about are the ones you're not going to do. Don't lock the door. Just leave it open, bro.
But this is the thing, too. They always talk about the free market and not having government interfere and, equal opportunity. If it's equal opportunity, then nobody could take your job. They can only have the job that they qualified for and they applied for first and got accepted and got hired to do. There is no assigned job. This isn't assigned seats. This is America. This is what you wanted, right? You wanted everybody to have a chance. So if you have a chance just like they have a chance, then you just didn't get the opportunity. Why are you saying they're taking jobs from us like you should be entitled to or guaranteed a job when everybody else has to fight and work and compete for theirs? Even in the nature of your question, you're showing some entitlement and ignorance. You're taking my job. How's your job if you don't work there?
Arresting elected officials is treason. No, it absolutely is.
Judges, senators, mayors.
It absolutely is. They're killing people. They're killing politicians.
And they said to protest, they said, we're going to kill you graveyard dead if you go out there and protest.
Made more money 30 years ago than I do today because I have to compete against illegal labor.
It's all their fault. It's all their fault.
Eric, you're not competing against them. You're competing against the companies that decided to do that.
Yeah, they hired them.
Now, they could have hired them and paid them a fair wage, but they decided not to.
No, Eric's the dude that comes home and his lady's in bed with two guys and he wants to fight the guys and doesn't want to talk to his woman about what's going on. He doesn't realize who's the real problem. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping in my house. Why y'all both with my wife? Why? You talk to your girl, homie. She's the one that hired us. Talk to Cassie. Go ahead.
And Mary, they absolutely did arrest him. They absolutely did.
Yeah,
because they will arrest anybody who goes against the regime. He asked
to see the warrant.
He asked for what we've been told since we were kids was necessary. They're busy crying about taking their jobs. They're not qualified for either of these jobs, whether white collar attorneys, doctors, lawyers, blue collar, manual labor, farmers, construction. Now, and then we're gonna leave. We got to get out of here. I just want to say this: you're looking for what you call illegals, so they're employed. Why don't these corporations get in trouble for doing this then? Because they don't care about the corporations. It's just a distraction to make you feel like we're doing something for you. People hate capitalism. And well, this is one of the reasons the system is breaking. The system
is supremacy more than capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we bid out every job. We didn't bid out every job. Corporations took the money.
Yeah, they hired who they wanted to hire. That's why they got it outsourced. That's why they got factories that moved overseas during the Clinton administration. All
they took
they
the
wanted
money.
To make more money. And they ran.
Because they wanted slave wages.
They shut down all them factories and went overseas.
It's the billionaires that did it. It ain't just the little peasants like me and you.
He mad at the dude who had to have a coyote and run for half a month and separate from his kids just to cross the border to try to have his kids have an opportunity, and who works 18 hours. That's your enemy, but not the guy who hired him and who set the system up and who benefits the most. Not okay. Okay,
That's
Eric.
it. All right, we're out of here. We will
no more Trump in the titles. No more Trump. In the
Keep
titles.
fighting them dudes and smashing your girl instead of talking to your girl. Keep getting mad at the farmers and not the billionaires.
You look at the big picture, homie.
Yeah,
But
zoom out, homie.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know if there's going to be a show Friday. There could be a show Friday with Dr. Aaron Smith.
Dr. Smith and maybe Envy.
Envy.
We'll see.
So you'll get the alert. Please like and subscribe, even if you don't like the show. Like and subscribe. Why not? We're not asking you for any money. If you need a new roof, wouldn't you want to keep the money in the Black community instead of Mexico? I would want the companies to have regulations that they have to fairly employ,
the best roofer.
fairly pay them. And I want the best roofer.
That ain't gonna have a leak next week. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And if they want the best roofers, then they're going to hire a diverse group of people who do roofing, because all the best roofers are not Mexican, Black, or white. So I want the person who's going to hire fairly to get the best product done, and I want the best product done, which should by default be diversified. But when people start playing crony games and being xenophobic and racist, then we got these other conversations going. So let's stop the racism, and we won't have to worry about what the tug of war musical chairs view of hiring somebody. Just hire the best people. Merit, like America said, they based on content and character and all that good stuff. Just be true to what you said on paper. That's what Dr. King said.
And he said, keep the money in the Black community. Man, do you know there's such a bigger problem than...
Those are the ones on Fox News quoting Dr. King every week. Or like the devil quoted the Bible when he tried to tempt Jesus. The devil knew the word.
Mina, we do one other opinion. She said we don't. That's why I put the link there, Mina. You could have clicked that link. You could have popped on. You could have had a real conversation with the doctor. Y'all could have had a real professional back and forth. But you didn't click that link. So
we put all the comments up.
We put every comment. You said I put yours up. We put yours up.
Don't be scared. Every comment up. Arrest Mayor Ross Barack. Oh, what Stephen A. Smith said he should have been.
That's the list right there.
Yeah. Judge Hannah, Judge Shelley. These are all the people arrested.
And they talk about Diddy trafficking. Meanwhile, they throwing thousands of people in these sites overseas and Guantanamo Bay and all this and making them work for $1 a day. But they got us looking at Diddy like he's the biggest trafficker. No, Trump is the trafficker. ICE is the trafficker.
And we welcome everybody's opinion. We welcome everybody to join. But we got to get out of here. Because I got
target practice. I like that. I needed to target practice today.
I'm sure we agree more than we disagree. Perhaps. Maybe. And that's why if you come back on Tuesday,
maybe.
Probably. Hey, we might like the same football team. Who knows?
Hey,
you never know.
Sports, there is a unifier. Sports.
You might be smart enough to follow the Eagles.
We might be in the same fantasy league. Who knows? I don't know. JB like they don't want their real conversations. They lurk in shadows. But feel free. Feel free to lurk in the because we put you up. We put you up. Good show. Keep it up. Well, thank you, sir. Well, thank you.
Hans and Franz and
everybody. I'm ready for a tea party. Let's go. Okay, well,
a coffee party. That's what we're gonna call it. The coffee party.
They call it a coffee party. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be.
Boots on the ground.
Because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness and never let anyone, anything, any circumstance take it from you. Because God got us. And you talk about fans. I'm about to go to the land of the fans because I already know that where them fans at is going to be playing 6
Texas.
Yeah. Hey, I got jokes for that. I'm gone. Gone, Nate.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.